Hello, 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 and welcome to Arise and Build. I know that you're expecting Yakinea Marie, but she is unavailable, and you have me today. My name is Michael Adul'Ali, and I am so excited to be able to serve you today. So I'd like for you to grab something to write with, stick around, because we're going to have an exciting show today. All right. Well, welcome back. Well, today what I like to do is take a few moments of your time and talk about something that is kind of near and dear to my heart. What happened very simply was that you hear so much on the news talking about how bad the economy is and what's going on in the economy. And for the last 30 plus years, I have been studying money, have been studying success. And I want to share with you some principles that I know would be able to have such a major impact on your life. So once again, grab something to drink, grab something to write with, and something to write on, and let's get this thing started. Today's topic is called Success is Built, Not Born. Success is built, not born. So what do I mean by that very simply? Oftentimes we look at somebody who is successful and whatever success means to you, and we think that perhaps they were born like that. But I'm here to tell you that success is not something that someone is built with. I remember this book that's called Smart, Broke, Rich, Dumb. And the theory behind that book is that a lot of people that are smart, very educated, got higher degrees, don't necessarily make great entrepreneurs because they are programmed to just follow the system. Smart, broke, dumb, rich. So what that indicates and tells you is that success is not something that you're born with. Instead, success is something that is built over time. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you three key principles that I have taken and have applied in my life to help me gain a level of success. And I call this the Adul'Ali success formula. The Adul'Ali success formula. So let's get started with number one. Number one is decide what you want out of life. Decide what you want out of life. I often find this very interesting that with most people, you ask them what do they want, they can spend so much time telling you what they do not want. Why is that? I've always wondered that. And one day it dawned on me that most people spend the majority of their life not knowing exactly what it is that they want in life. So we do not want that to be you. So in order to attain success, the first thing we must do is that decide exactly what we want out of life. Now, to help you along that path, I have a key question that I have used over the years to be able to help myself. And that is, if you was in a situation that you knew that you could not fail, what would you attempt to do over the next 12 months? Think about that for a moment. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, what would you attempt to do over the next 12 months? Would you opt to get a bigger house? Would you opt to get a better job? Or would you seek to get the dream body that you wanted or the dream car that you want? What would you do? So with that particular question, what it does is that it helps you to start thinking bigger. But more importantly, it starts to have you to think that whatever it is you want out of life, you can achieve it. You're not thinking about fear because I already said that with this particular question, what is it you want out of life? And so you make that determination that what it is you want out of life, knowing and understanding that you could not fail over the next 12 months. Now, the reason why that's so important, I'm going to say this to you, which I believe with everything that's in me, is that by you looking to become successful, there's someone out there waiting on you to be so that they may be. Let me unpack that for a moment. If there was no internet, there would not be an Amazon. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, obviously was waiting for internet. So in order for Amazon to be the success that they are today, the internet had to be invented. So I'm here to tell you that somebody's waiting on you to be successful. Somebody's waiting on you to be so that in life they can be. So with that, it starts with having a great understanding of what it is that you want out of life. And with that, another reason why that's so important, understanding that, is that what if once you decide what you want out of life, you are the one. And what I mean by the one is that you are the one in your family that has been selected, has been chosen to end poverty in your family legacy, a family tree. You are the one who has been selected, who has been chosen to break all type of things that your family is not proud of. You have been chosen to do that. And that all starts with you deciding what it is that you want out of life. If you, as I heard it said, that if you did not come from a rich family, then let a rich family come from you. So you are the one that the world is waiting on. You are the one that your family is waiting on to become successful. So it's time that you get to it. All right, so that is number one. Hopefully you truly enjoyed that. More importantly, I'd like for you to take action on that. All right, so let's get to number two. Number two is go all in on what you want. Go all in on what you want. So number one, you have decided what you want. Now that you have decided that, now you're going to go all in on what you want. And to help illustrate that, I'm going to have you to understand how important the time is. I have, this here is a paper. I call this here is my time measure. And what this is, very simply, is that this here represents time, represents one's life. And when you understand the value of time, you are very careful how you spend it. Let me give you an example. In America, the average male lives to be 75.8 years old, and the average female lives to be 81.1 years old. So what this time measure does is, let's say, we're going to use an example here today. Someone is 45 years old. So from the ages of 0 to 45 or 44, I'm going to tear this off. And this particular person is a lady, which means she's going to live to 81.1 years old. So we're going to round that up to, we'll round that up to 82 years. So even though this here goes up to 100, the average person will not live to see the age of 100. And even if a person does, typically what happens is that by that time, they don't have the energy or the strength in order to go out and slay dragons. So we're going to stop it at 82. So now if you look at this visual representation, this is all the time that you have left. Between the ages of 45 and 82, to accomplish what it is that you have desired to get accomplished. So time waits on no one. There is this realtor / broker by the name of Ryan Serhant, has this thing called the 1,000 minute rule. What that is that realize that in the course of one day, Everyone has 1,640 minutes. And you take 640 minutes and use those for sleeping, eating, and miscellaneous things. All you have left to be productive is 1,000 minutes. So let's say, for instance, your goal was for you to earn or generate $1 million over the course of a year. So that breaks down to roughly about $500 per hour, per minute. So with that being the case, now what happened very simply is that every time you give somebody your time, I said per minute, that's actually per hour, Every time that you give somebody some of your time, you essentially are giving them anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on what your goal is. So think about that for a moment. When someone interrupts you or calls you on the phone, you take a phone call, it lasts 10 minutes. That 10 minutes equates to, if you are paid, just say if it's in $10 per minute, that $10-minute phone call equates to $100. You have given somebody $100. Now, we had talked about how time is very short over the course of a lifetime. In this case here, you have a little over 40 years if you're 45 years old and you're going to live to be 42, a little less than 40 years. So you do not have time to waste. So what you want to do very simply is that understanding that, and some of the key things I would encourage you to do is be so protective of your time. Open up your calendar and schedule your day, whether you choosing to work from, let's say if you have a job and you work from 9 to 6, and once you get home or get off work or 9 to 5, and now you're going to work on your business from 6 to 10. Be very careful with your time. Every 15 minutes, you should keep track of your time and know exactly where that time went. If I were to come a couple weeks from now and do a time audit on your life, could you show me exactly what you have been doing? Let me see somebody's calendar and I can tell you whether or not they're going to be successful. Why? Simply because time waits on no one. So going to need for you to take and be very careful with your time. Go all in on what you want now. So we understand the importance of time, the value of time. We want you to go all in. The Navy SEAL has this thing that whenever they have reached the point by which the person who's in training, the recruit, then what happens very simply is that they simply go ring a bell. Then once they ring the bell, their misery is all over. They have quit. They'll never be a Navy SEAL, or at least during that cycle, they will not be a Navy SEAL. We do not want you to ring a bell. We want you to be successful because God called you to be successful. So now what I like for you to do is on a sheet of paper, I like for you to write down what does going all in look for you. Maybe what going all in looks like for you is that you are willing to make a sacrifice to give up looking at streaming shows, looking at Netflix or looking at television until you accomplish your goals. Maybe going all in means that you will not attend any events such as basketball games or sports or entertainment, whether that is going to some type of concert until you reach your goal. So what does all in look like for you? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to succeed, to achieve the success that you deserve? What are you willing to do? And also, the second thing I like for you to ask yourself, you ask what you're going to do, what it looks like for you, what are you going to stop doing, and what are you going to start doing in order to achieve that success. One of the things I realized in life is that success leaves clues. You find somebody who is a few steps ahead of you in whatever destination that you're going, and all you have to do very simply is model what got them to where they are. Also, success failure leaves clues. And you just see somebody who is not successful, i.e., they're headed in the opposite direction that you want to achieve. And for whatever you do, do not follow those steps. So now we got number 2 is want you to go all in on what it is that you want. Just to recap, number 1, decide what you want out of life. Number 2 is for you to go all in. Now let's look at the next one. This is number 3. It's understanding what you are worth. And I'm going to use this here to illustrate my point. What am I holding up in front of you? This is a $100 bill. Now, with this $100 bill, if I were to take and fold it in half, how much is this $100 bill worth? That's right, it's still worth $100 bill. What if I take it and fold it in half one more time? How much is this $100 bill worth? Yes, it's still worth $100. All right, so what about this? Now what I've done is I took the $100 bill and I have crumbled it up. And now I'm going to ask you, and now this is a very, very important question. How much is this $100 bill worth now that I have taken and crumbled it up? Yes, you guessed it right. It is still worth $100. The point of that is, beautiful people, regardless of what you have gone through, regardless of what the world, society have told you, you are still very worthy. You're worthy of success. So how do you know that, Michael? Why do you say that, Michael? Here is the key thing that tells me that you are very valuable. For those that are believers, think about this. Over 2,000 years ago, God saw that the world was in a fallen state. Man was headed to hell, a place that he did not want you to go. So what God did, very simply, is that he chose to give his all in his son, Jesus Christ. Some would say he gave his best, but I will challenge that, because when someone says I have given my best, I have done my best, that is always a subjective term. If I say go in your closet and take out and give to the less fortunate your best dress or your best suit, you may grab something and give it to somebody less fortunate, and I may say, or somebody may come after you and say, well, that wasn't your best. It's always subjective. But if you give your all, that is not subjective. Either you gave your all or you did not. So God saw that you and I were so valuable that he gave his all when he sent Christ to die for you and I. So that's why I know that you are worthy. With you being worthy, it doesn't matter what the world says. It doesn't matter as a child, somebody told you was fat. Someone told you that you were unattractive. Someone told you that you were not worthy. Someone told you end up just like your father who's in prison, or you end up just like your mother who's on drugs, or you end up like your sister who's on the street selling drugs. It doesn't matter. Because I'm here to tell you that you are worthy. And as I mentioned earlier, somebody in this world is waiting for you to be so they may be. So you are worthy. Beautiful people, you are valuable. We need you. We need you, because you are worthy. So with you being worthy, beautiful people, what I like for you to do is to write down this affirmation. Very simple affirmation that whenever you're in a situation about which you're starting to feel low and down, because those times will come, you will start to have self-doubt. What I like for you to say to yourself out loud is, I am worthy of success, abundance, and opportunity. I am worthy of success, abundance, and opportunity. Why? Because you are. So what I like you to do very simply is that if there are any type of limiting beliefs or things that hold you back, take and write it down on a sheet of paper. And once you write those things down that holding you back, whether it's some stinking thinking, whatever it is, I like for you to write it down. And once you write those things down on a sheet of paper that are holding you back, limiting beliefs, take your sheet of paper, get in a safe place, what I want you to do with this, and light it on fire. Burn them up. Gone. That was who you was in the past, but that's not who you are now. Limiting belief are gone. You are worthy. All right, beautiful people, as I'm getting ready to wrap up, I want to quickly recap the 3-step success formula, the Adul'Ali success formula. Number 1, decide what you want out of life. Number 2, go all in on what you want. And number 3, understand that you are worthy. And beautiful people, I'd like to leave you with this thought. Understand this here, that success is built step by step. You're worthy of success. And hopefully those 3 steps I gave you, those 3 principles I gave you will impact your life as it have impact mine. And in closing, beautiful people, once again, I'm Michael Adul'Ali, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you somewhere on the beaches of the world. Take care.